Good afternoon. Welcome to the Forex Pro Charts weekly analysis for the week beginning April the 10th, 2011. This week we're going to take a look at the Euro USD. Okay, starting off with the monthly time frame on the Euro USD, we can see here that price basically is in an uptrend. However, we are approaching this this monthly armpit, which, as we know, is an area where we're likely to see price turn long term. You can look here. The last time that price went in this area came up to the edge of our trading field, actually established the edge of our trading field, and then went down. Since it came down, and as you can see here with this monthly candle, price spiked down into this area between the monthly armpit and the lower edge of our trading field, and then began its long-term move upward with a slight retracement here, but long-term moving up. So we are expecting that price is entering this area where it could turn again, and we're likely to see it turn again. You'll also notice this little unusual feature on the Euro USD that we don't see currently on our other charts, where we have a second edge of our trading field. And so we see that prior to this high, price was at a different high, and so we could see price move through this area and up and turn again long term here. So so there's a little bit of uncertainty as to which of these areas price will choose to move. But either way, we would expect to see price making a turn for sure when it gets up into this area, but also likely when it gets to this area. So we need to be watching that and keeping that in mind with our trades, and using that as we move into these zones to determine how aggressively we want to protect our profits and what direction we think price is taking long term. As I said, we think price is currently in an uptrend. However, that could be seen as part of a, I don't know, you could look at this as a downtrend over here, and price could then turn around in this area and move back down again. So we're getting ready for price to reverse in this area, keeping in mind that it could spike through and go up to this area. As you see here, we're very close to this monthly armpit. Because price is basically in an uptrend in general, buys would be our preferred trades. But as you know, with Forex Pro Charts, we can trade the 60-minute armpit. Whether it's a buy or a sell, it just makes a difference in how we protect those profits. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly time frame. Okay, so looking at our weekly time frame, we can see the price action that we saw on the monthly chart, where price came down, moved back up, similar pattern, and we can see that price is currently moving up fairly strongly, and we've seen really a strong move with just a couple of smaller red candles over the week. So here we had where it looked like maybe price was going to reverse, because we had a couple of these reversal signals here, but price did not reverse and continued to move up. We'll look at the action in this zone on the daily and hourly charts over the last couple of weeks, but in the last 2 weeks, price has moved up very strongly, and as you see at the end of last week, price was right here at the daily armpit of this zone beginning at 1.4456. So we would expect to see some action in this zone early in the week, although we may see a slight retracement off of this daily armpit as we often do. Now, if you're looking at this zone as being the most likely zone that we would be trading this week, looking at the weekly chart, we see that we did have a pattern on the weekly chart, although it was a slight pattern, but we had a rally base drop. We'd see that we'd have definitely well over a 3-to-1 ratio, which, as you know, is, in addition to the pattern being present, is the most important odds enhancer we have. And when I talk about the pattern being present, I'm talking about on the daily chart, that we define a zone by the pattern on the daily chart. We like to see that pattern as well on the weekly chart, and that's why we talk about it as an odds enhancer. But the 3-to-1 ratio is the most important odds enhancer we have. If price has not moved if the price at the origination of the zone was not at least a 3-to-1 ratio, then chances are that price is going to move through the zone without bouncing. So looking here, we see that this would be this price moves strongly out of this zone with this painted red candle right here on the weekly chart. Price moved down very nicely. Price has not revisited again until just now, and it's been a little bit of time. Now you also see that this zone is right here below the monthly armpit, which again should strengthen that zone. We'll look at the relationship between the zone and the armpit on the daily and on the daily chart and look at the spacing there. But you can see that this is a strong area where we are likely to see a bounce off of this 60-minute armpit. And then we would not be surprised to see price move down, but then move down some off this armpit, but then turn around and continue back up to this zone, which is at the upper edge of our trading field and where we see the clear, the clear pattern right there. So looking at that, this is a very nice zone that we will be trading this week, hopefully. If you go down and look at the next support zone, probably don't expect to see price move this far this week. When we do get to that point, again, we only see a very slight pattern, not even as strong as this pattern, but a very slight pattern on the weekly chart. We see a little bit of a drop and rally, so it's part of a larger price move up. But we have definitely achieved the 3-to-1 ratio, and then obviously since this zone originated here, if price comes back down, it will be the first revisit. And that zone looks like it also has a fairly modest risk, as this one does. So both of these zones are good. This zone, price moved through this zone. We've cross-hatched it, marked it as dead, and we will not be trading this zone again. So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily. Okay, so here's the daily chart, and we see where the last time when price in this zone hit the 60-minute armpit and moved down slightly, but then continued back up and now is hitting this zone. And we see where price at the end of the week hit the daily armpit, 1.4456. We would not be surprised to see a little bit of a bounce here. We often do off of the daily armpit. So we will not be surprised to see that. But we're looking for price to move to the 60-minute armpit at 1.4530. And so that is the 60-minute armpit. Now normally we place our stops above the end of the zone, which is about a 40 or 50 pip risk here. However, we have this monthly armpit running just above the edge of the zone, and there's a good likelihood that price could spike through this and then continue back down. So traders will need to make a decision, because this risk from the 60-minute armpit to this monthly armpit is about 115 pips, which is a much higher risk than we like to take. So traders will need to decide how they want to trade this and need to refer to their trading plan in terms of how to trade this. Some traders will just skip it because the risk is too high and there's a risk of price bounce, moving through here. Some traders will go ahead and take it and place the stop again as normal, just beyond the edge of the zone. Some traders will trade this and the armpit, and some traders will wait maybe until price gets, since we don't have a 5-minute armpit on this zone, some traders will wait until price gets to the edge of the zone and then place their stop above the monthly armpit. So as long as you're comfortable with the risk level you're taking, and as long as you move to aggressively protect any profits that you have, and you're not risking too much of your account balance, then either way you decide to trade this should be effective. We should see a bounce in here somewhere, and would expect it to be a fairly nice bounce. So I would encourage you to look carefully at the risk that you're willing to take, and then take steps to protect your profits as soon as you see any on this trade when you take it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly chart. Okay, looking at the hourly chart, we can see here price moving nicely up and then coming to this daily armpit. Now you'll notice that the trend wall is running through this zone, and if you remember on the daily view, you could see this. You can see again this trend wall running through. So we might see price kind of follow this trend wall slowly up until it gets to the 60-minute armpit. We might see this trend wall act as further resistance. So if price reaches the 60-minute armpit, does that and reaches the 60-minute armpit along with the trend wall, then that will be some additional strength for the bounce at the 60-minute armpit. So keep an eye on this trend wall as you're watching price action. We expect to be posting a trade alert on the Euro USD fairly early in the week. For those of you who subscribe to our enhanced service with the trade alerts, we would expect to be posting one fairly quickly on this particular pair. Otherwise, we see the price action in this previous zone where price moved up, bounced a little off the 60-minute armpit, and we talked about that in the results video. And the results video posted on YouTube and on the website. And so we saw a little bit of a bounce. This was in the results last week, not this past week, but the week before, where we saw that little bit of a bounce, and then price continued to move up and moved through the zone, causing us to crosshatch this zone and mark it as dead. So like I said, that's the price action for the Euro USD for this week. We would be expecting to post a price alert, trade alert fairly soon, because price is already I would expect on Sunday that price may bounce back a little bit off this daily armpit Sunday evening, but then Monday or Tuesday I would not be surprised to see price heading towards the 60-minute armpit. Okay, that's all for today. For more information or to subscribe to our full analysis and charting services, please go to www.forexprocharts.com, where you can get a demo to get full access to our trading site for a week, and get our trade alerts and so forth as well. Thanks very much. Good luck with your trading.